So that's, I think these are fantastic comments, and but we're not finished yet, because we have a kind of a closing session now, and we are almost, I mean, the line is blurred. We are discussing the whole workshop now already. So, but I'd like to hand over to Haiming, because she wants to lead the closing session. So Haiming.
Okay, thanks, Ingo. Yes, yeah. Well, it's sad to say the workshop is coming to the end soon, and I have thoroughly enjoyed today's sessions. And the key aim of this closing session is we want to give everybody still some time to ask any questions which you haven't managed to ask, as well as we want to hear some feedback from you about the workshop, which we have done some discussions already throughout the talks. And but be good to hear more, because our aim is we want to continue the workshop. We now introduced it to IR community. Hopefully in the future, we will take it to IS community, database, data science community, or even maybe HCI community. So any feedback from you will be gratefully received. And then at last but not least, we of course will thank everybody for your effort and being with us and all your support. So maybe we start with if any questions, anybody want to ask some of our speakers still here, our keynote speakers. Thanks so much. Nick Sunshine, and I think Carlos is not here now. Our morning speaker is not here, but many other speakers, our paper speakers, some of them are here as well. So any questions still left from you to ask?
I think Nick has a statement on his T-shirt already, which is interesting. So
yeah. Comes from the Library of Congress. Had to wear it for this meeting.
And Stephen here, I just wanted to actually ask a question to Nick on his presentation. Also, thank you for commenting on his shirt, because I was going to say awesome shirt. What you towards the end of your discussion, you talked about the ethics and radical personalization. And given my PhD, a lot of it is involved with ethics of data. I'm really curious, like I like the idea of radical personalization because it makes my life really simple, but at the same time, there's got to be a balance. I'm wondering if maybe there's like in my mind, I have like idea that maybe there's just certain areas where we don't allow radical personalization, and maybe that's the simplest approach. But I'd be curious to hear how you see that might play out.
Yeah, as you say, this is a really difficult problem. I think if we take that little example of from Elizabeth Churchill's talk about, let's say, the guy with the dog in the dog park. Okay, well, if we were doing, information support with radical personalization, some actor other than the person and that person's dog would know that the person and the dog are walking, that person, that dog are walking in this neighborhood, that dogs are likely to want to go to meet other dogs and to, I don't know, shit on the floor, right, or on the grass. And therefore will be able to inform in some way that person about that existence of that dog park. Now, what actor should know this about the person, right? Forget about the dog park. I don't know for sure, okay? one way that I've tried, that in general, I've tried to address this in our research is to assume that the data necessary for any form of personalization resides on the client side, right? But it seems to me that, you know, in the example that I just gave, that's likely to be insufficient to do the job. And honestly, the reason that I say this is a problem that we need to address is because I don't know exactly how we could address. I don't know where we can draw that line. That's really, and I think that it will take some experience with knowing how how much one needs to know about a person and how much one needs to know about what is appropriate for responding to particular kinds of information needs or information problems or tasks or goals is necessary, how much we need actually to know in order to do something useful. And I guess that's why I said we probably need to address this while we're doing radical personalization rather than before, because I don't think we're in a position to know how much we need to know in order to respond in appropriate ways. All right. I'm sorry I can't answer better than that.
No,
I could, you know. But this is, I mean, it's a problem that I think at the very least we need to recognize and attempt to understand and recognize that we will need to draw limits, and we will need to be able to say who can know what.
Yes.
We haven't done this quite obviously with search on the web, right? Or with any kind of information interaction in the web. We've given that up, right? We don't, we've signed away our rights, okay? What I want to try to make sure, what I would hope is that there could be agreement that we shouldn't do this any longer.
Yeah. Good. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for the question.
Yeah.
I mean, let me say also, I think you know that what Massimo had to say actually provides some kind of structure for thinking about how to do this.
Can I just follow up on that? So this question of who should know what, I mean, to a limited degree, you have that in enterprise search, for example, where you have people defined by their roles, and there's a massive amount of information. Not everybody should have access to everything. People in personnel can see certain things. People in sales can see other things. And yeah, how that is solved is it's not an easy, not a trivial thing, even where it's fairly clearly defined. But I think it's a limited view on the same problem, isn't it?
I guess. Yeah, I guess. I'm just thinking about, you know, how does, within an enterprise, there's a structure, right? I don't know what happens when we're talking about a person in everyday life. Where does the structure come from? It may be that the client side something can apply that structure, right? That is, say, I'm willing to accept information. I'm willing to accept about, or I'm willing to give this up in order to get that, right? But as we've noticed, as we see with the privacy policies that we all accept without reading, right? That's not so easy to do. Maybe control, if control resides on the client rather than on the server, we have more power. It's unclear to me whether we can design systems that are really client side in these contexts, all right? That's what I'm, but that's what I would hope for.
Any other questions? If no questions, any feedbacks to us? Oh, sorry, yes, go ahead.
Thank you very much, Eileen, Massimo, Ingo, for organizing this workshop. It's been really interesting and really useful.
Our pleasure.
Yeah, our pleasure, definitely. It's good to have you here. One comment that, or one thing that after all these talks, maybe a cheeky comment. I mean, in information science, we know this concept of data, information, and knowledge, and I would be, by the way, I would be pleased if I could discuss this diagram from our workshop that you picked up, Nick, maybe at one point with you, because you said you don't completely agree with it, so it would be interesting to hear. But I just sometimes wonder, do we actually need something like data science? Or could we just say it's a subdiscipline of information science? Like IR is sometimes regarded as a part of information science. So
Well,
should we tell them, hey, yeah.
you may ask my colleagues in statistics what they think.
Yeah.
I don't think they would be happy to know that they are a subset of information science.
Yeah.
I think the answer is not to put any inclusion relationship, but only intersection relationship between the subjects. That's my personal view.
So
I mean,
I have a comment on that. And then recently, our university started the School of Data Science, and then but our understanding of data science is very unique. It's actually according to the expertise of our faculty members. So some faculty members are from statistics, and some are from mathematics, some from computer science, some from information science. So it's you know, different faculty members have different expertise, but all data science. And then some other neighbor universities, they also have this School of Data Science, like North Carolina State, NC State University. Their data science is a statistics program. It's just a standalone statistics program. And UC Berkeley's data science is just a combination of computer science and statistics. So, so our feeling is it's really hard to capture, you know, what is the essence of what is the core definition of data science. It's all depends on the, you know, the faculty expertise, depends on what resources is available in the university. So yeah, that's why you know, different data science programs at the different universities, you know, vary a lot.
That's a good point. I think you can see that.
It also depends on who has the power, like at Rutgers University, who jumped in for, I mean, we teach data science, or they teach data science, something called data science in the School of Communication and Information in the Department of Library and Information Science. But the only data science initiative in the university resides in, as you noticed, a collaboration between statistics and computer science, right? With no connection between them, between the two areas at all. Right? Again, a question of how significant disciplinarity is in academic communities. I mean, it's an unfortunate aspect of our lives. Most of us on this, that I look at, most of us are academics. I see Jeremy and Philip, who are from non-university environments, but you know, where things might be more problem-oriented. But in universities, things become discipline-oriented very easily and very quickly.
I mean, one thing to consider, if I look here in the UK, for instance, I know University of Warwick, they've got the data science, which is run more or less by statisticians, and some of them see data science as a subdiscipline of statistics. Yeah, so then, of course, our data science course at our university, we have more a kind of data engineering view, so coming from computer science. And of course, we do statistics, but that's different in a way. I mean, it's an interesting, I mean, data science is for me an interesting phenomenon, because when I heard it for the first time, I thought, okay, that's the new flag or the new label that we give information retrieval when we write our funding proposals. Like we gave IR so many different labels in the past and to attract funding. But of course, it seems to be here to stay, data science. And if I observe sometimes how, for instance, natural language processing or machine learning has kind of taken over the IR community a bit. Now I want to make another provocative statement. Will data science consume information science one day? So will IS be a part of data science, maybe? Not now, but in 10 years or so. Is there a danger for that?
I don't think so, no, because I think that information science is based on very different expertise from the expertise that characterizes data science. So I think they will cooperate. So for a quite long time. So it's a sort of, I don't know to say in English, destiny. I mean, there's no, yeah, it is written in the sky. Somehow.
Yeah.
I sorry if I can jump in, Jeremy Pickens here. I see that there is, I think that there is a risk of that happening. Mostly on, going back to what Nick was saying about tasks, mostly on tasks where the goal is sort of, oh, how do I explain this? Mass distillational tasks, right? Where the task is made better by big data, right? Where it's not really an individual information seeking task, but rather sort of finding the biggest patterns of what everyone in the world is doing and distilling it down to those common patterns and then regurgitating those patterns to the next person using it. Path distillation rather than path expansion, if I'm making any kind of sense. On those path distillational kinds of tasks, I see data science taking over. On the path expansion tasks, not so much. And the reason I'm personally in research is because I like the path expansion tasks, but less and less I find, both in the academic community and in the industrial community, interest in those kinds of tasks. So I actually feel like data science is going to take over because almost no one's interested in that personal sort of individualistic path expansion kind of relation to knowledge. Not to be too pessimistic, but.
But that would mean that information science, I think, has a very good justification as a counter statement to that, and yeah, I think also that indeed both disciplines, because they are addressing different things, should learn from each other then, instead of because I mean, I realized when I made the statement, it sounds a bit confrontational. So because the idea of this workshop is to bring it together and not to play it against each other, of course. Yeah. So this is not a war between data and information or something. And so I think, yeah, okay. I mean, I agree. I see this is risk for some tasks as well. And if it's good or not, I don't know. But I think there should be more information science and data science, in my personal opinion. Yeah.
And then, so our North Carolina has a lot of IT companies, and then our students, when they enter the job market, so 5 years ago, data scientist is very popular title, and then it's really easy to get a job as a data scientist. But these years, I feel it's harder and harder for data scientists as well.
Okay.
So they actually, the company, the job market prefers the data science as a wild card. So it's like a generalist. And then if you claim yourself as a data scientist, that probably means you have no expertise. So you are a generalist. And then they prefer like they call it like a data science plus one. So you need to have some data science plus what? Like I am a data scientist plus a statistician. I am a data scientist plus a computer scientist. So I think for information science, it's actually, there is a lot of room for information science to be the plus one, and then together with the data science, and then to be competitive in the job market. So that's my suggestion to my students.
Okay.
Or should we call ourselves information science plus data science plus information retrieval plus HCI? And we'll get a job next day. Very well. Okay.
We need bigger business cards than that, yeah.
Yes, okay. So, yeah, sorry, Massimo.
No. Yeah, just to say that, just to ask whether there are questions or comments.
Yeah. Any feedback to us if we run it again next year? Anything we should do differently?
More drinks session.
Make it in person.
Oh yeah.
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 Definitely.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Noted.
Oh, you maybe add HCI as Nick suggested.
Yeah, I think so.
All dimensions.
Yes,
so we need a new acronym then.
No. The acronym remains BERT for historical reasons. Yeah, Nick.
I'd say think about CHEER as well as SIG-IR as a place to go.
Okay.
I
Yes.
think no matter how hard one tries, it's very difficult to get people, use people into consideration at SIG-IR as opposed to algorithms.
Okay, thanks.
I mean, I was thinking, I would love to see Nick's, for instance, keynote talk as a pure data science conference. So because here most of us, I guess, are coming from information retrieval, I guess. I don't know how many participants who are left, I would consider themselves hardcore data scientists. So I mean, it's a very blurry notion, but might be interesting. Maybe we should look what data science conferences are there, and of course try Cheer. No, that's no doubt that we should do that, and but maybe also some other venues might be interesting. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Can I just add to that? So earlier I put in the chat the link to this Mind the Gap workshop where we had Nick in Berlin at the iConference, and I can say that different conferences. I mean, as everybody knows, but they attract a very different audience. So I definitely think it's a good idea to move this workshop to some other conference next time round, and yet another one, and so on. I think moving it around is definitely allowing you to tap into completely different communities. Even if you want to attract them all to this one place, they wouldn't be bothered to even think about the workshop at SIGIR.
Okay.
Hey, Yasik.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm hiding.
Yes, you are hiding all the time.
But I not specific comment to the content, but overall, thank you for the great workshop. And I'm grateful to my PhD students to actually point me to it, because otherwise I would have missed it.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. So we can thank you all for attending the workshop. Thank you for your contributions, papers. Thanks to the speakers and to all of you who resisted until now. Hope we can see you again next year, somewhere on distance, in person.
At least in the same time zone, yeah, or at the same place.
Hopefully, yes.
Yeah, cheers in Australia.
Hopefully, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's meet there.
Okay. Thank you very much, everybody.
Yeah, I'd like to thank everybody. Yeah, fantastic to have you here.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
So,
Bye.
yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.